Good morning, friends and colleagues in franchising from all over the world. The one question on everyone's mind is, what is the future of franchising during these uncertain times? Some says our economy is at its worst. The others are saying we won't recover for years. I believe that for franchising, it will be different. I believe that when the many mediocre and fake franchises will fall by the wayside, it will be replaced by a new breed of franchisors and franchisees that will be stronger and more qualified to serve the pent-up demand of the consumer. As we enter the golden years of franchising in the year 2021, and that will peak in the year 2025. Historically, we have seen this phenomenon time and again. When the economy is good, franchising is good. When the economy is bad, franchising emerges even better. After the Great Depression of 1929 and the Asian financial crisis of 1997, franchising was one of the sectors that recovered fastest and prospered most. During the past few months, we have been seeing many international brands that we know and love closing hundreds of stores, especially in the US. The Philippine government predicted that at least 1 million overseas Filipino workers will lose their jobs. We now have the highest unemployment rate in the Southeast Asian region too. So with all this bad news, why will franchise prosper? The current situation presents franchisors great opportunity at unprecedented scale. Because to franchise your business, you will need only basically two ingredients. One is a good franchisee, two is a good location. Now more than ever, we have the biggest number of qualified potential franchisees and the widely available commercial space. Many have lost their jobs, got laid off, or forced to retire. These ex-employees or professionals have savings and have received separation or retirement pay. Now that new employment opportunities are limited, these people would think of ways to survive. No matter how desperate things may seem, giving up is simply not the option. Because we Filipinos are very resilient and have proven to be survivors. This group of people are ideal franchisees because they have the need to survive and the motivation to thrive. They will make sure that whatever is left of their savings will be put to good use. They have the time, the money to invest in growing your brands, and the professional discipline developed in the respective workplace is a plus for a potential franchisee. Another group of potential franchisees that emerged during the pandemic are the micro and small entrepreneurs who had to close shop because their business were considered non-essential, or their suppliers cannot deliver products anymore, and all sorts of problems that having a strong franchisor support would have saved them from closing. Aside from having the time, money, and network that are required of an ideal franchisee, they already have actual experience of running a business, which will be a big plus in operating the franchise. Because of the gravity of the current situation, families who used to depend on one relative to support their lifestyle now have to work together. Having one OFW in the family who might be sent home soon, or a parent who is now working on shift or on shortened hours is no longer enough. Now we're seeing students, children, family members trying to get into small home-based businesses just to have additional income source. One notable phenomenon is the emergence of mompreneur in the neighborhood. These women used to be plain housewives running their homes, but now also into buying and selling product needed during the lockdown. This group have acquired basic business experience, and they can take advantage of their intimate connection with the community that they already serve. The second requirement for a successful franchise is a good location. Success of retail is largely dependent on location, which is why rental is one of the biggest expense for a retail store. Since there will be many vacant spaces available at lower rental rates, this gives the franchisor the perfect opportunity to expand, not only in the Philippines, but worldwide. After this crisis, new market opportunities will emerge. New communities will be created as people migrate to a safer environment and less densely populated suburban areas. In the US, one of the first to announce closure of many of their stores is Dunkin' Donuts. For us who understand franchising, we know that this is definitely not the end for them. We see brands that close shops in their home countries but continue to expand abroad. While closing some outlets in the US, Dunkin' opened their first franchise in Belgium just a few weeks ago. The police needed to intervene because there were just too many people on opening days, including many of our Filipino kababayan who lined up for hours just to satisfy their craving for American-style donuts. The Belgian franchisee now intends to open another 20 more stores. News about our very own Jollibee closing some stores also went viral. But Jollibee, with the 7 billion peso transformation fund, just opened their second strategic European store in UK. Another Jollibee brand, the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, with over 1,300 outlets worldwide, opened a store in the very competitive but most important New York market last month. While our well-loved Little Giant, the Potato Corner franchise, has opened 4 new franchises in Canada, 3 in Thailand, and 2 each in Indonesia, Myanmar, and Cambodia in the last few months. This is how powerful franchising is as a business model. A franchise can flourish in various locations. There is always an opportunity for expansion in a new territory. If the situation is not favorable in one country, there are many others to go to. A few weeks ago, KFC dropped their classic finger-licking good slogan because it does not fit the current environment anymore. They did not want to promote a behavior that might encourage the spread of COVID-19. This big move basically sums up what the whole industry is currently focused on, adapting to the new normal. And I couldn't be more proud of how many franchises in the Philippines pivoted under the circumstances. As entrepreneurs, we always believe that there are opportunities in the midst of adversities. But we need to decide and to act fast. So many aspects of operations had to be changed instantly, but all these are futile if we do not communicate to our customers. Marketing, therefore, is crucial. And I must say that the franchise brands in the Philippines came up with some of the most creative ideas, embracing every consumer lifestyle changes as an opportunity. All products offering are now being presented as best work from home meals. As Zoom and video conferencing has become essential these days, virtually eating together while video conferencing is now promoted, whether the meeting is about business or just social. As more people stayed home, group meals are also promoted as Netflix chill packs or even karaoke nights packages. We even have an e-celebration package now for online birthdays, parties, and yes, even for weddings. During quarantine, talented home cooks and bakers emerged since they had extra time. Some products developed at home by ordinary citizens became viral sensations, like this ube cheese pandesal. No less than a global franchise giant saw this as an opportunity, and the next thing we know, we can now also buy a similar ube cheesecake pandesal from this global franchise. Franchising remains strong, so we only have optimism for the future. Consumers retain their trusts in the systems, values, and the brand promise of their favorite franchise brands compared to the stand-alone shops, many of which are already closing one after the other, as many of their owners lack the support that only a strong franchise system can provide. While many stores are closing shops, the vacuum has created much more opportunities open to all of us. As our economy gears up for recovery to a projected 5.2% GDP growth in 2021, and the franchise industry is expected to grow around 20% and 30% the year after. It is my fervent hope that more international brands and local brands will be part of the bandwagon that will usher in the golden age of franchising in the Philippines with a young population of over 100 million people. In closing, let me share with you one final important observation. If I may paraphrase an often forgotten truth, behind every successful franchise brand is a woman overlooking your shoulder. Thank you for your kind attention.